For today's really fast video, I'm going to show you how to make some really nice, easy sugar cookies. In my KitchenAid bowl, I have 1 cup of soft salted butter. To that, I'm going to add in 1 cup of regular granulated sugar. And now I want to cream this together. So I have my paddle attached to my KitchenAid. And now we'll start mixing all of this together. I want to cream this really well. So this is a couple of minutes later. That's nicely creamed. So now I'm going to add in 1 large egg. Just get that right in there. And I'm also going to add in 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract. So we'll just get that in. And then I want to get my mixer going. And I want to get that really well whipped up. So I'm just going to get this going on a higher speed. And I want to whip some air into the mixture. So for our last step, I have 3 cups of flour here. This is sifted flour, all-purpose flour. In some countries, this is called plain flour. To that, I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So that's not baking soda, that is baking powder. So I'm going to get that mixed really nicely in there. And then I'm going to get all of that in here. Once I do, I'll come back and then I'll turn on the mixer. So now all of our flour is in there. 3 cups of flour plus the 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Now I'm going to set it back up on my machine and then I'm going to slowly start working it with the paddle. So I've got my machine ready. I'm going to turn it on to speed number 1. I do not want to overwork the dough at this point. So this is about 1 minute later. I'm just going to shut off my machine and you can see that the dough has come together. I don't want it overworked. I'll pull a little piece out and I just want to show you this live before I turn off the camera. But you can see that it's sticking together. Even though it looks like little pieces, it's actually sticking together really well, and that's exactly what you want. If you ever find that you're mixing it and it's a little bit dry because your butter may be a little bit too cold, you can add a couple of tablespoons of water. 1 tablespoon is equal to 15 milliliters, so maybe you'll need 15 milliliters of liquid, so you can add a little bit of water just to loosen it up a little bit. But with this recipe, if you measure everything out by weight using, a scale, you should be spot on all the time if your butter is really, really soft. So let me just remove this now from our mixer. So this is a few seconds later, and I've taken it out of the machine, and now I just wanted to show you the texture again. A lot better here. When it's out of the machine, I can get my little camera in here, but you can see that it looks like it's not coming together. But when you actually squeeze it, you can see how nice this texture is, and that's perfect, just like that. So at this point, this is going to be the end of this video because I'm not going to be doing any baking today. What I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to split this up into 2 discs. I will flatten those discs out. I'm going to put them into saran and then I'm going to just put them in the fridge overnight, and I will be baking some sugar cookies tomorrow. But that's it. I just wanted to show you how easy it is to make a very, very good sugar cookie dough. This is amazing. I do have this recipe with a finished product with cookies that I made. I did tests where I showed you the chilled dough versus not a chilled dough. I go through a whole pile of testing showing that this recipe is spot on. If you're making sugar cookies and you want to have a really defined edge when you're doing little cookie decorating, perfect dough to try out. So at this point, I'm going to take this, I'm going to split it into a couple of dough balls. I'll flatten them out. We're going to chill it down, and then later on we're going to do some cookies, and I'll bake those up, and I'll show you the final product. So I decided to come back. I took all of the dough, I split it up into 2, into plastic wrap, and then I just pushed it down. And you never want to store it in a ball. You always want to flatten it before you chill it. It just makes it a lot easier to roll out. So that's it for this part of the recipe. If you want to see me making a nice little apple pie, I have another video. I'll put a link to that at the end of this video. That there looks really good. So that's it. I'm going to pop these into the fridge, chill them down, and I'll see you a little later on. Yum. Hey everybody, just to finish off my video, as promised, I just wanted to come back and show you some of the cookies that I made using that dough that you saw me making in my KitchenAid mixer. So there we have it. A few sugar cookies ready to be decorated. So that's it for this really fast video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you wish. If you're on Facebook, you can check me out at facebook.com/BakeLikeAPro. So that's it for today, and I'll see you next time.